We're sailing 1,200 miles from Fiji to New Zealand. Strict biosecurity regulations for our dog Yoda leaves us with only a 5-day departure window. We set sail even though Fabio has pneumonia. Reputed to be one of the most unpredictable passages in the world. Looks like we're gonna sail into this wall of water behind me. Gotta relish moments like this. The voyage lives up to its reputation, making us on edge at times. The infamous Fiji to New Zealand passage is living up to its reputation. And boarded others. And in the final hours, we have to put the pedal to the metal to try and beat a nasty front. Our weather router is set to turn on the engines and use them. How's it going? Not good.
Not good.
The COVID.
COVID is real.
The staff at Wanderlust performs a heartfelt song for every vessel departing Fiji on passage, and it always brings tears to my eyes, especially since it's our turn now. Well, that was a pretty hectic push until the end, but we are on our way. We've cleared out of Fiji. Time for a new adventure. The weather window down to New Zealand, it is not fantastic, but it'll do for sure. Looks like we're gonna have some pretty big seas a few days into the trip. I think we're gonna lose the wind. It'll be maybe a beam sail that second half, and then when we get really close to New Zealand, the last day, I think it's like Halloween actually, there we may get the front of a low that's gonna pass through. So we're forecast to see like up to 31 knot gusts, so probably be more than that, but we'll just have, take our third reef and do the best we can. But it feels good to be moving on. The weather has definitely changed. I mean, I can see it even today. It looks like it's raining all over Viti Levu now. Fabio's still quite sick. I kept asking him if he was okay to leave, just to make sure, and he insisted that we leave, so hopefully the passage is kind to us. Well, the rain is here, and we put up our clears, so we are staying nice and dry. And we're going through the pass and the reef right now, and so after that we'll be able to pull up the sails. Fortunately, something's going on with our wind instruments, and we don't have any true wind information, though we do have apparent wind info, so at least we have that. Always something. Okay, so the sun is set and we've had our dinner. We got the sails up. The wind is quite light and there is lightning in the distance. The apparent wind is like 8.5 knots and we're going 4 knots. Hopefully the lightning will stay away from us. It's actually kind of all around us, which stinks. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully it'll just stay away. So winds are supposed to be light coming out of Fiji, and then it looks like they'll pick up maybe around midnight. So we haven't really established our watches yet. I don't know if we'll start with the 4-hour and see how it goes like we did before. Wow, lightning everywhere. Okay. The infamous Fiji to New Zealand passage is living up to its reputation. Good morning, guys. We have successfully completed our first overnight of the Fiji to New Zealand passage. We've done probably about 100 miles, and last night was, in typical sailing fashion, winds got up to 24 knots, so we were reefing, and then this morning winds calmed down a bit so we could shake the reefs, and we're sailing now with the full main and jib. upwind. I guess the apparent angle just eased back to like 80 degrees. We don't have any true wind data, so there's something wrong with our wind instruments. Later on today, we'll try and figure things out. We did a little wiggle and jiggle of the wires, but no luck there. So we don't want to wiggle and jiggle something else out. Unfortunately, Fabio's still not feeling really well. He diagnosed himself with early stages of bacterial pneumonia, so he started on antibiotics. Not really living your best life, huh?
I'm okay, I'm better.
Forecast is for conditions to stay about like this today. We've got winds kind of 16 to 18 knots apparent. And then tomorrow, wind is actually supposed to die down. So we may have a day of motoring ahead of us, but better than too much wind. So we'll take it. The winds are down a bit, like 13 to 15 knots, so perfect time for this creature. Gotta relish moments like this. For dinner, we're having our famous coleslaw and chicken. We've got the cabbage, carrots, squash, sriracha mayo, apple cider vinegar, pepper, olive oil. No, we mix it up. No, we don't. All right, we've got our dinner, chicken and coleslaw, simple but delicious. Where do you want to eat?
In that seat, maybe.
Okay. Yoda had her dinner. Ooh. Dinner with a view.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Well, dinner is done and the sun has gone down. Really wasn't much of a sunset because clouds have moved in. But today was one of the most beautiful sailing days we've had in a long time. It was just sunny and good wind on the beam or just forward of the beam, and we were able to sail with the Screecher for a good bit, and the seas haven't been too bad. I mean, really just gorgeous. Right now we have the engine running just to charge the battery. They're in neutral because we do still have like 18, 19, 20 knots of true wind, so no need for any engines here. We're going like 8, 9 knots, and our router, John, has said that we should expect a trough tomorrow night, which is basically, I guess, the extension of a low, and it's basically unstable weather, so you could have gusty conditions, thunderstorms, so just need to be on our game for that. I can't believe we're heading to New Zealand. Fabio's resting right now. I'm on shift, and that's it. Keep on keeping on. So just a little while ago, Fabio noticed on the radar that there were some storms approaching, or at least some rain approaching, and we did get some showers here, and on the radar the storm is like 6 miles big, but it looks like it's passing just to the north of us, so it's just sprinkling here. Hopefully it'll stay this way. It looks pretty big on the radar. Message with our weather router, and he said that the trough that was supposed to come through had actually, we had already passed it and it had broken up a bit, but maybe this is remnants of that. Not really sure. The wind has swung around and is coming from directly behind us, and it's like 8 knots, and it's forecast to die even more, so we just furled the Screecher and turn on the engines, and we're gonna motor a bit. put our fishing lines out this morning and Fabio keeps trying to pull them in. I should check though the one on port because I did the leader and crimping for the first time, so hopefully I did it good enough. We have a new lure on there.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! It's a.
Oh my god! Look what we caught!
Nice.
Nice. Look what we got! Some kind of tuna.
Nice job, Kristen.
I'm so excited. This is like my first big fish. This is the winning lure today. It's a Nomad GTX, and our friend Mino, aka Centurione, told us to buy this, and it is paid off. Thank you, Mino.
Here we are in thousands of feet of water in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Get in the water to document for New Zealand that our hull is cleaned. Kristen is putting a shark band,
Yes.
just in case. We had to wait to get in the water because we caught the tuna a while back.
I know.
There was a lot of blood.
Fabio wanted to pull in the lines, and I was like, let's just leave them for a little bit. And just when I was gonna pull them in, I saw there was a fish on.
Yeah.
So we waited and motored quite a ways. It's probably been like an hour and a half at least.
Yeah, so.
Since we caught the fish. So we have very little wind. There's a little bit of swell, but not too bad. But yeah, I'm gonna jump in and make sure that we don't have anything on our hull.
Go!
And I have my hood on,
Yeah.
so I don't get any crabs or anything in my
Yeah.
Okay.
Kristen is getting in. I'm still I still have pneumonia.
Pneumonia.
I don't think it's a good idea for me to do a lot of diving at this point. But.
Okay, so yeah, most of it looks really clean. It's just the props and the rudder. So I can just start working here.
Okay.
The hull is clean, but boy, it was tough, man. It is totally flat. The wind died. I mean, there's a little bit of swell, but not much. But it's crazy how much the boat moves, and just like trying to hold on and clean the props, and then trying to get under the hull. I ended up using a tank, and in retrospect, like after I finished the prop, I should have taken the tank off and just like free dove and clean underneath, because to get underneath with the tank, it was just, I didn't have on the right weight. So, and going upside down, water was coming in my regulator, so I was like drinking seawater. But the hull is clean, and we have photographic evidence to prove it, because that's what's required to get into New Zealand. Is you either have to have a company do it for you and give you a certificate, but in Fiji, it's technically not allowed to clean your hull. Though we did hear there was one company doing it in Muscat Cove. We didn't have time for that though. So then we've taken photos with timestamps, so it has the date and the time. Forecast is for no wind until I think tomorrow, early tomorrow. So just gonna motor. Fabio's taking a shower now. Then we're gonna eat something. It has been an eventful day. How are you, Yodi? It was exciting when we caught the fish, huh? Okay. The honeymoon is over. Last night, the wind picked up at midnight. It was like, what, I don't know, 17 knots, but directly from the south, so directly on the nose. So we're heading off, you know, going upwind as much as possible. The sea state is like short, choppy waves directly on the nose, super uncomfortable. I didn't get much sleep at all, just with the motion, slamming, and noise. sea state is just so sloppy right now. Tried to put the side clear back last night before we got the rain, right as we were getting the rain, but it was just too sloppy. A little sea spray is what I'm getting. At least it's sunny. As you can see, the temperature has changed. The wind coming up from the south is quite cool. I don't know what it is, but enough for me to have on a sweatshirt and a jacket. The true wind died down to like 13 to 15, sometimes 16 knots true. So our apparent winds are below reefing needs, and we were only going like 4 or 5 knots. So we shook out the reef, and now we're going between like 6 and 7. So much better. Honestly, I mean, I don't like to motor, but I also hate to bash up wind. So we usually show you guys when we're cooking when conditions are calm, but you can see a little bit of the disaster that is our boat right now. Fabio made a bunch of minestrone yesterday, so I'm heating some of that up because the conditions are not for cooking right now. Hopefully the seas will calm down a bit.
Conditions improved a bit, so we wanted to show you what it's like on the trampoline sailing upwind.
And we're getting the upwind now.
Fabio's on dish duty. What a good guy.
Wind is down, so the ride's more comfortable. 16 knots apparent, but I guess the sea state got better.
Yoda there. What's cooking, chef?
Pasta tonight. We have some bacon that we bought. Call it bacon, it's a stretch. Got it in Fiji. And I'm making some onion there. And a little sauce. The wind is down, actually the angle is better. We're pointing more towards where we want to go. So it's gonna take longer than we thought.
Yoda smells the bacon.
It's a little bit of a disaster area tonight.
Yeah. Now, I'm not feeling well. I put on a scopolamine patch last night, but it fell off, so I've got another one on. Yeah.
Right here. Thank you.
You always say thank you. You could.
Say bon appetit. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Delish.
The wind has completely died today, and the water is like glass. It's pretty amazing when the conditions are like this. The forecast is showing that we'll have no wind until about midnight tonight, and then the wind will fill in again for all day tomorrow. It's very comfortable. Even though we're motoring, you know, it's not ideal, but we're able to catch up on some rest because we had a couple of really sleepless nights. So it's been great to catch up on rest. Fabio did some cooking. He made chicken cacciatora, and gonna make some of our beluga lentils because you can't bring any beans into New Zealand. Anything that may seed, like can sprout, can grow something. So we'll cook those so we can keep them and just keep heading towards New Zealand. It's time for Yoda's morning walk. Good body. We have 2 flying fish on deck.
All right, food for Yoda.
Woo! 1. Oh. 2. Whoa. Oh, they stink.
Throw them away then. Are they bad?
No, flying fish just smell.
Okay.
We have another casualty on board. A cute little squid. Aww. Oh, no, his head fell off.
The wind has died today, so we are motor sailing. We just took the Screecher in. Looks like we're gonna sail into this wall of water behind me.
Somehow we managed to get a huge override on the winch. Fabio worked quickly to undo it so we could furl the Screecher.
Speed 19.
Yeah, so we better take a reef, right?
Take the reef, yeah.
All right, lesson learned. When you see a squall, take the Screecher in. So looks like the only damage is like the gel coat. So good thing. Today is day 5 of our passage from Fiji to New Zealand, and every day has been different so far. Yesterday we lost the wind, and so we motored all day basically. It was super flat. The ocean was just like glass. And then the wind picked up this morning, and now this afternoon we've got like 22, 23 knots of apparent wind. We're sailing upwind with the jib and one reef in the main and going like, I don't know, 6 to 7.5 knots because there is quite a bit of swell against us. I guess hitting us like forward of the beam right now. So, but we're making progress, so that's good. We've got 500 miles left to go.
Making some tuna tartare with our catch.
A little bit of sriracha.
Soy sauce. Juguito. Probably just an Italian flair because I don't know if
Yeah, they
use pepper.
I think it is called.
Olive oil, they don't use olive oil probably,
No.
but we do. Kristen can tell you I'm not much for following recipes.
It's been a day of pretty low wind in the wrong direction.
And big swell
Yep.
and current against us.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, there was a low that passed to the south of us, so it made all this huge swell, and then, yeah, like a 3-knot current against us. So we've been sailing along, motor sailing with one engine to kind of just help us go upwind.
Slowly, maybe 5, 6 knots at best.
Yeah, super slow.
More
for
like
sure.
4 to 5 knots.
Yeah.
It's taking a long time.
But, I mean, good news is it's sunny
Yeah.
and very comfortable, more comfortable than yesterday.
Yeah, yes, it was choppy,
Yep.
square waves, confused seas.
Yeah.
At least today, this is huge swells.
Yep. And, you know, it's funny, it's something kind of that I've been thinking about is like, is it better fear or boredom? Because the guys that were like, they left a few days before us, they ended up getting hit in that low.
Yeah.
And one guy like wrote that he was having consistent 31 knot winds and gusts to 38. So
Yeah.
I think I prefer this. How about you?
I have to think about it. Look at this swell here.
The long days of nothingness, the slow change of light on the water, sun-ups and sundowns, the trained patience to move with the world rather than against it. That's where we like to live. Not in the adrenaline rush, not in the thrill of howling winds, the rush of waves over the bows, the desperate fights against nature, not in the storm, not in the fear, but in the rare stretch of quiet between them. That's where we are.
I have a little confession.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah. Yesterday when you asked me whether I would choose fear or boredom, I don't want to sound like a wimp.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah. So I took some time to think, and and I could think because of this weather. The weather is calm and I relax, and so I really choose boredom every time, hands down. Fear doesn't let you think. Fear makes you rethink everything. Fear makes you regret your choices and question your decisions.
Yeah.
So I choose boredom every time.
Right.
Boredom is like a slow drip coffee, basically. It's bland, maybe not too tasty, but it's warm and familiar. In my delusional mind yesterday, I thought that maybe, I don't know, romantic, that maybe fear is like a shot of espresso, but it's not. Fear is not a shot of espresso. When you sail 15 knots of wind on your beam in flat water, now that's a shot of espresso. One of the viewers has asked us if we're happy with the new steering system, and the answer is that yes, we are. Super sturdy, works well, knock on wood, and touch steel like we do in Italy, and so we're very happy.
We've got two birds hanging out by the back of the boat. One is a ginormous albatross, and another one is a blackbird that I don't know what it is, but I think they're scoping out our lures. It's our second to last night, hopefully, and beautiful sunset. Still clouds at the horizon, but still, it's beautiful. Finally sailing. It feels so good. The water just sounds amazing. Oh my goodness. No more engine sound. 10 knots of true wind, 8.5 apparent. Our weather router told us yesterday that there's a front moving over New Zealand tonight, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So hopefully the lee of the island will protect us a bit, but we're not really sure what to expect because New Zealand is fairly mountainous, so I don't know if they'll get these, like the Catamaran winds. We'll see. We're gonna shoot our weather router a message in a little bit and hear what he has to say.
As we're approaching New Zealand, we have to save some of the food. We have some potatoes left. We're gonna boil them and maybe freeze them, eat some today maybe, and then freeze them. And then we have some eggs. We're gonna hard boil them and put them in the freezer. Hopefully they'll sneak by. See how they come out. So we have to put the Q flag. Typically, we always put it when we get there, but New Zealanders are very descriptive about the Q flag. Don't screw up. And there's no wind. There's no wind.
Officially in New Zealand waters. Okay.
Sails have to come down.
What are you waiting for?
I'm ready for somebody to talk on the radio. I'm so excited.
We just heard somebody talking. We couldn't make out everything, but
one we heard was the high wind advisory for tonight.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I see land.
What?
Yes.
No.
Land ho!
Oh my God.
Yoda!
That's so exciting. Our first land sighting in, I don't know, what is this, day 8, I think?
Radio, maritime radio. This is sailing vessel Wanderlust over.
Good afternoon, Channel 67, please. 67 over.
Please repeat.
What's the Channel 67? 67 over.
I have no idea.
Cannot understand, I apologize. Please repeat channel one at a time. Bloody hell. The accent is so thick. 67? I have no idea what they're saying.
Wanderlust, particulars, this is Bungalow Maritime. Can I have your radio call sign? Your radio call sign, please, over.
Yes, ma'am. Our radio call sign is WDL 7619. Whiskey Delta Lima 7619. Over.
Over. Do you have copy of us?
Repeat that, please. Maritime.
Sunday Maritime Radio, nothing here, Reputed 16.
Copy that. Yes. This is Wanderlust on 67. Over.
Well, the race is on. We have a front that's going to come across New Zealand with winds straight from the south around midnight tonight. And we are currently about 80 miles from our destination in Auckland. So our weather router is set to turn on the engines and use them. So we're going really anywhere from 9 to 11 knots right now. It says like 8.5 hours. So we would maybe get in just after midnight. And we were told that tomorrow is actually the Auckland Marathon, and it goes right by the marina where we're checking in. We can tie up to the Q dock, but they won't be able to come and see us until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And same with the Pet Haven quarantine, that they'll be picking up Yoda at about 3. Well, the weather has obviously changed. There is a super ominous looking dark cloud above us, and the wind has picked up. It picked up to like 27 knots, so we furled the screecher.
Strong wind advisory. 2, 5 knots. Gusting. 3, 5 knots. Late evening. Sea becoming rough late evening. Partly cloudy. Fair visibility in a few showers.
That squall passed us, and so now the wind got taken out. It's coming back a little bit, but the engine's on, and we're making our way to Auckland as fast as possible, still trying to beat this front that's coming across at midnight. So we'll see how it goes. It's cold. We're currently entering Auckland Harbor in the dark. It's lit, but it's always a bit disorienting when you have no idea where you're going. But we're almost there.
And as we arrive at the end of our journey in Auckland's safe harbor, we think about our emotions. We think about what kept our hands steady on the lines, our eyes on the sails. It was fear, the sharp edge of respect, the mood that keeps us alive.
Right, we're approaching the marina now.
It's light, thank God.
Yeah, we
At
have
least we
light.
Yeah, we go like this and then that way.
Yeah, and the ferry. Keep the ferry to port.
Yeah.
Fear was not panic. Panic is useless. Fear made us check the rigging again and again, feel the wind's temperature on our skin, sense the shift before the weather turned. We did not run from it, we carried it. We let it whisper, but never take the wheel. And in the end, it allowed us to enjoy our well-deserved boredom.